At any time in this audio, you can stop it, take notes, just take a breather. The object behind this project is for personal achievement and personal enhancement. It's called the Style Project. I created it with a couple of things in mind. First, some of us who have had some serious setbacks, for those who want to change some things dramatically, know they have to do it over a period of time. Anyone that wants to change something in their life, an area in their life where maybe it's a weight loss goal, maybe it's a health goal, maybe it's a dating goal, maybe it's to recover from a bad marriage, maybe it's you're trying to pursue a college degree, maybe you're in high school and you want to go a different direction. We're going to borrow a lot of insight and knowledge from people who have achieved much of these goals. I call it the Style Project because it can be numerous areas. There doesn't have to be any limitations on what that is. You might want to change things in your household. You might want to start all over with some people in your life. But there's going to be some tips I'm taking away from here. And I'm going to, again, emphasize you got to at least allow yourself a chance to make mistakes, okay? That's the best way to learn. And when we go into talking about the Style Project, you have a personal style in which you have to either learn, find yourself again, and discover what you like and don't like. And personal achievement, personal enhancement sounds like a great thing for somebody who's had some serious setbacks. I realized after I had some setbacks that I had to motivate myself. I had to find a way to motivate myself. But in the course of this, I needed a team or I needed a buddy system. So here we are. The secret to getting started or getting ahead is getting started. Day one. Let's get started. There's going to be a lot of other goals that you want to achieve. So I'm going to go through it. You can watch the audio, but I'm going to refer to them. Smart tip 1, set small goals. Small achievable goals. Smart tip 2, be consistent, healthy routines. Smart tip 3, stick with the winners, encourage each other. And there you are. Some tips that will help at least get you to the point. So let's do a timeout. The reason we need all 3 of these goals are probably part of maintaining as well. So you're always going to do better with people around you who not necessarily have to be a winner, but you're there to encourage each other. You both have one goal in mind. You support each other. Most people are at different places, so not everybody's going to be at the same level of success. And the goal is to be around people that are either trying to accomplish a goal or have accomplished a goal, and they can meet you right where you're at. This is why people have a lot of anxiety. You're not where other people are at, okay? You're going to go at your own pace. And for some people, slowing down your pace means pacing yourself. That means in every area. That means don't jump into dating head first. Even though you know that, you have that head knowledge of this. You know if you do, you're just not ready. Setting limits. These are things that are important. Set achievable goals. You have to be able to look at yourself and be honest with yourself that you're not setting yourself up for big mistakes down the road. If you set small achievable goals, let's see how much we can do there. You know, this is the idea, is to get started. You don't want to be doing things that are going to sabotage your success. Too many people, they can't even get started because they've already put themselves down negatively. And a lot of times that has to change too. And that's something that is part of the training. That's part of like unlearning the bad habits. Learn behavior. One of those things, we might not be aware of it, but we've adapted to these learned behaviors or behaviors we've taught ourselves or messages we got from other people. That's what the Style Project is. We're going to change that. We're going to try to go about this in a different way. Okay, let's talk about love and dating. This is the biggie. Oh boy. And there are a lot of new rules because online dating has now become the norm, okay? Most people today are going to ask questions, should they marry somebody before they even got to the point of dating? So this is what you want to be. Are you the person that you're looking for? If you want to be something to anyone, be the person that you're looking for. Find your match, equal match. And I'm not going to get into soulmates because I know you can get connected real easily to somebody. And a lot of times people lose themselves. So the whole point is we're back here. The trick is that you have to recognize that not everybody's going to be that one. A lot of times the reason why people are in the situation that they're in is because they thought a lot of things and they know that it wasn't true. So the whole point to this is getting honest. You may have had setbacks. You may have done some things that really screwed up your chances at a relationship. You might have done a lot of things. You're so backed in a corner, you really pinned yourself down pretty much. Whether it be maybe a weight loss goal, you didn't accomplish it. More people haven't accomplished a lot of the goals they set out for themselves. And it's mainly because they either lost interest or they didn't can maintain it, okay? A lot of times what you hear is people who've lost weight, they didn't maintain those goals. A lot of times we're always telling you guys how to do things, but once you get to that place where you're confident, you got to maintain that. And it is a really critical problem that's happening in our society. Constant criticism. It just destroys so many people in areas where it doesn't have to. So you really got to make sure that the people around you are really good for you. And if they're not, you better find ways to really buckle in and be able to dig your heels in, because if you have to live with them and the goal is to move out or the goal is to remove yourself at some point, you still got to be able to maintain your goals and focus. A lot of times what people do is that they can't leave a relationship or they can't leave their home, and they're going to have to maintain some kind of normalcy until they've achieved the goal. A lot of times people get in relationships, they just can't get out of them. It's not that they can't eventually, just at this moment. So if you are in a situation where, you're in a bad situation, let's just put that. Let's think of the extreme, let me say the extremes. I want to say the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is, you're not going to be in the situation that long and you have to stay in it for a number of time. Make sure you communicate that with the people around you so that they have a better idea what to do. That doesn't mean that they're going to leave you because you had to tell them where you're at. This is the whole point to the style project, is you got to be able to be honest with yourself and don't set yourself up for failure. Well, I better let you know though, accept mistakes, accept yourself for where you're at. If you don't do that, you're going to just step right onto that landmine and you're just going to end up back where you started. You're not going to want to continue with your goals. A lot of the problem that we have is proving it to ourselves. Forget trying to prove any goals to anyone else. You are going to be the hardest critic, and you are going to be the one that's going to be as tough on yourself as anyone else. The point is not being tough on yourself. That can only work to some degree. It's called discipline. There's a difference. A lot of times people are so hard on others, and it's not because they are trying to be hard on you. And it's not that they're hard on me. It's that they want to see us get into a healthy discipline. And you might be trying to set some goals. Quit smoking goals, weight loss goals, health goals. Maybe you're so in over your head that you don't know how to dig yourself out. That's the whole point. You got to be able to get started somewhere. And every day, you're going to wake up with some challenges that day. You got to get started. It is always about getting back to day one. Because you can be at day 30, but you're really at day one. Day one is that you got to get started. You have to do the routine things like a healthy hygiene, healthy habits. Bad habits don't change overnight, by the way. You can have setbacks, but the reason I think I'm in a position I can do this is because I was faced with some health concerns, and a lot of people did not believe I don't think they believed at the time. It's not that they didn't believe that I couldn't do it. I don't think they believed at the time I meant what I said. I'm going to make some changes. But those changes, I knew I had to give myself about a year commitment to make these changes. I mean, literally, I was that in over my head in problems. And any other major setbacks was going to be very critical, that I was going to have to avoid some things. And well, the biggest goal was I immediately quit drinking Diet Coke. I know that's not going to sound odd, but for me, that was a big deal. It'll be a year in April that I've quit drinking Diet Coke. I lost considerable amount of weight, but I saw the damage it was doing to me, and I had to have it. I wasn't that kind of person. I didn't grow up on sugary drinks, okay? But I got into the habit, and it became a source of comfort, and it left me in a situation where I had to depend on it. I was going through a hard time, so I always had my can of Diet Coke. It was like a security blanket. And I had to overcome this, but I think the stunning part was, as simple as a can of Diet Coke, it also changed my health. I lost 30 pounds. If you don't know anything about some of the concerns about sugar and diet sodas, you need to get your information on that. And I can put some things at the end of the segment here. But I lost 30 pounds, and I learned the science behind why people are learning more about these type of drinks and sugar products, and why people are maintaining it, because they realize they can replace it with healthy things. Substituting Diet Coke, I learned to substitute for ginger ale. And so it doesn't mean I don't drink it, I just don't drink Diet Coke now. And every once in a while, I will treat myself and I'll have a ginger ale. I know that sounds kind of odd, but at least I didn't completely punish myself altogether, But I did, for at least 4 months, stop drinking all sodas. And I did allow myself to do that. But I look at it this way. I don't need that stuff anymore. And I thank God that I've been allowed to achieve that much. And that was a big confidence booster. So, of course, now, some of our goals, while there might be bigger than Diet Coke, that was why I decided that I can at least pursue other goals. I have to be able to achieve some of these goals in order to be incentivized. It's just all really like a pep rally. When it comes to dating, same thing. I know that I cannot get where I want to go, and I have to get honest. If I know I have a goal in mind about who I want to date and what I want to accomplish with that person, I'm going to make steps as much as possible to get to that point. But I've noticed when I get my setbacks, I cannot get out of it. I have to force myself out of that funk. I don't know about any of you, but once you get stuck, man, sometimes when I get stuck, I can't unstuck myself. That's why I always say, go back to day one. Let's get started again. You can do that. You can use this method. It works every time. I cannot believe. But I have to start over sometimes 3 times in one day. What do I mean by that? Well, because of the level of discouragement, number one. Not everybody can do this, but if you can, and you've just had a really rough day, you can take a 10-minute nap or 20-minute nap, or just give yourself a timeout and start over. I look forward to getting started and starting over from time to time too, because I realize it works. If the way my day is going and I know I'm not accomplishing anything, I have to start over. I usually give myself about a timeout, basically, and that usually involves a nap. Usually after I wake up from that nap, I'm okay. Now, I want to get into more about Style Project, because it's not just about personal enhancement, but this is about achieving some goals, financially, getting better in some other areas of our life. Being able to achieve an important goal means your environment. You got to change the environment that you're in. You might not be able to change everything dramatically, but even a small candle can make a difference. Even an incense, maybe decorating. These are things that I know that part of your the whole style project is about you feeling like a winner and being a winner. When I said it, changing your environment, I'm going to put some pictures up here of just ideas. There's so many. This is a DIY project, by the way. Getting creative. If you're not a creative person, find something that you just can do to change the look and feel of your surroundings. Now, a lot of people say this sounds all superficial. Well, it gets your head in the right place. You might have some religious schools. Maybe you want to learn more about some topics on theology. Maybe you want to get more informed on other areas. It doesn't have to be just physical things too. You know what I mean? It can be a lot of other things, but you want to change the environment you're in. Okay? And it doesn't hurt to change your environment anyway, because it's more inviting, it's more encouraging to other people, and they see that you're trying to accomplish something. I created the style project because there's a lot to cover here, and I had to lay it out some way, somehow, but it's as much as it's about style, it's about a change in direction in your life, personal achievement and personal enhancement. Thank you. You can also hear more about the Style Project at 103.3 FM and 1370 AM, Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you for supporting and sponsoring the community project here at WGIV, the soul of Charlotte.